Hi everybody, my name is Kobe Banavong and this is my misinformation presentation. So my misinformation presentation is a political bias, and a political bias is an altering of information involving politics that make the stand more attractive. So in a political bias, it's very common to see it in politics. And in politics, people have the unwillingness to understand the views of the opposing side, which causes a lot of bias to happen. For example, with the election coming up, we can see a lot of political bias between Republicans and Democrats, and how each side uses bias to make each candidate look better or worse. Why do bias statements happen? Well, there's many factors that biases might occur. A common reason that biases occur is to favor one side over the other based on opinion. Psychologically speaking, our brain is trained naturally to connect new people or information into past experiences. Our brain does this because our brain likes to relate things personally, and when new information occurs, our brain likes to use bias to alter the new information into our past experience. When we speak about things, we use biases to help convince the opposing side, because it's in our nature to conclude our side is the right side, but that's not always the case. For my fake news, I found a Facebook post about a claim to be unopened ballots in San Francisco, and at first glance, I really believed that this post was real, and the election was suspicious and rigged. However, before I came to conclusions with this post, I used the 5 W's of information evaluation to see if this post was any bias or not. The 5 W's of information evaluation are who, what, when, where, and why. First, we'll start off with who, and the question we ask is, who is the person that posted this picture, and is this author reliable? From looking at this post, the person who posted this photo is not an expert with any credentials. This person is an ordinary person like us, so we can tell that this information is kind of iffy. Now we look at what, and what we look for is the purpose of the post. And the purpose of this post was to make the election look rigged. And when you fact check this, it fails a fact check, which makes this a misinformation. When we look at the currency and validity, it was posted on Facebook, where anyone can post anything they want. And this makes this post a little less valid, because Facebook is not a valid source for factual information. Where and when are kind of the same thing we look for and see if it's reputable or not. And the post comes from Facebook, where anyone could post anything they want. So bias or misinformation has a higher occurrence of happening. Lastly, why is this posted and why is it useful? We can't really say this post is the best page to look at or saying that this post is useful, because this gives us little in-depth information on what is happening in the post. More bias in the fake news. Just by looking at the caption, we can tell that there is bias and misinformation without even fact-checking it, because from the caption, it says that we wonder why Pelosi never loses, and this is part of the caption gives misinformation about how the ballots in the dumpster give the reason why Pelosi never loses, and this is a misinformation bias. So we fact-checked this post, and it turns out this post is false. The first obvious reason why the article says this post is false is because they got the location wrong. In the post, it said that the unopened envelopes were from San Francisco, but actually, it's located in Sonoma County. The Sonoma County looked into this post, and they actually went to the dumpster and proved that the envelopes were not unopened ballots. In fact, it was actually empty envelopes from the 2018 election. In the article that they wrote, they said that envelopes are allowed to be disposed by law once the election is over, and ballots of the new election will be mailed by October 5th. So this is impossible that the envelopes are unopened ballots from the upcoming election. This post, let alone, is trying to mislead people about the integrity of the election and wanted to make people think that the election was rigged or suspicious. This post did not have any in-depth evidence or proven that this evidence was true, which makes this misinformative and very biased. This is my works cited, and the first two are the post about the envelopes and how it was misleading, and then the fact checks, and then the last two are websites that I used to prove that it was biased. This concludes my presentation. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.